Let's bring in Cowen's Krish Sankar and The Verge's Neely Patel to break it all down. Neely, let me start with you. There was so much excitement. There was all these close-up pictures of the MacBook Pros and the ports on Twitter. A lot of enthusiasm, but let's remember that these haven't been in the hands of any journalists quite yet. Is it justified, or do we have to wait a little bit to see if they actually deliver?
I think it's justified. Obviously, I'm a product reviewer. I'm going to tell everyone to wait for reviews. But you give the people what they want, they turn out in force. Give them the ports back, take the dongles away, add the buttons at the top of the keyboard. I have got to say, I think people were more excited about this laptop than they were for this round of iPhones. Apple's store slowed down yesterday. It was hard to buy the machine for a while from Apple. The ship date slipped immediately. I heard from Apple folks themselves that they were having a hard time buying their own machine. There's a lot of pent-up demand for a useful Pro machine from Apple, and they deliver.
Pent-up demand certainly among creatives, Krish, but I wonder, is the investment community as excited as that professional community that is going out there to buy them? And, you know, it's a significant group, but not a mainstream group.
Yeah, that's right, Deirdre, and thanks for having me. You know, the MacBook has kind of taken the back seat for a while, ever since the advent of the iPhone. It's not a meaningful driver of revenue and earnings, but to your point, it is incremental, and every bit helps. I think the biggest thing here was the whole fact that, you know, both the M1 Pro and the M1 Max, it kind of shows that Apple's decision to move to custom silicon through TSMC and away from Intel is really paying very well, right? You can see all the benchmark testing and everything. I'm sure Neely can attest to this, that the chip is really, really performing amusingly well. And that is actually good for Apple on two things. Number one, you know, they're always on the leading edge now, thanks to TSMC's roadmap. And number two is it's actually incremental to gross margins. We think it's like 3 to 5% accretive to EPS, because bringing it all in-house as a custom silicon and a really strong product benefits. But to your point, iPhone is the bigger part of the thesis. Every bit helps with the MacBook.
Neil, I want to go back to the chip conversation as it relates to Apple right now, because I think we're seeing something that, in a way, maybe we're too close to it to appreciate the significance. We're seeing ARM-based computing taking the lead in the performance conversation in PCs right now. What do you think that means for Apple and potential market share gains over the next couple of years, given how well they're doing at this so far? And what kind of danger does it represent for the other OEMs, players, PC makers in the ecosystem?
Yeah, you know, I think the shift to ARM as an architecture overall has been slow throughout non-phone computing. We've seen a lot of attempts to do it. We've seen a lot of attempts to do it in the data center, where it has taken hold. It has not taken hold for consumers, for regular people, desktops, laptops. Apple is proving that they can just go right into it, that they don't have to baby step into it. They don't have to issue a cut-down machine that can't run the apps. They can take their most popular machines, their most powerful machines now, and put an ARM-based chip in there. Obviously, it's a very custom ARM-based chip. It is not necessarily related to what the other folks in ARM are doing, but they can do it. And I think that is a big wake-up call for the industry, that they need to refocus on battery life and performance while delivering long battery life in a way that Intel and AMD have just not been able to do for a long time.